My name is Brandon Doty. Welcome to my presentation. I'm trying to get at least one partner, hopefully 5. Do you like what I'm trying to sell? Think it sounds interesting? There's more information, plenty of more. Please visit one of these sites. Probably already on my Medium account if you're watching this. If not, you got it somehow. Somebody sent you a link. You can go to my Adobe portfolio page or my company's website. Thank you for your time and your patience, world. From your favorite partner in this vast expanse, pushing with the most gentle of touches to educate and empower our hearts and minds to believe and act on the truth and the love in every aspect of our existence. If you say that why do I say hate so much? Well, there is a thin line, right? And so usually I'm pretty animated with the people I care about the most. And continuing on, this is a company that I started working on May 2024. That was last year. I incorporated it in November, same year. My name is Brandon, like I said. Company that I started is BSD Artism LLC. That was in the state of Texas that I registered it in. Now, I have a DBA also registered with the state of Texas of Energized Media Partners, and that's where, I don't know, the difference. If there's any confusion, you can ask me about it, and I'll tell you. I didn't want to represent the autism community and with something that they might not agree with. So Energized Media, Star Trek is pretty encompassing in the future. Energized, Captain Kirk, right? Anyhow, I'm looking for investment. I'm really looking for multiple partners in multiple industries that'll make my job easier by having some guidance and some oversight in some areas that I have familiarity with. I've worked in these industries, but I've played mostly worker roles. I haven't been in management, never wanted to, but now it's kind of a necessity. So that's why I started this company. Let's say if I have one partner, the amount I need is 7.5 million to make a movie, to make an animated movie. That's what this is about. The project is called The Sun, the Moon, the Earth. It's a story I've been writing, and I need some help to write it. I was hoping to get more writers involved. They talk about a writer's room. I've never been in a writer's room for film or television, for anything, except for a room of writers in school, in grade school, for the most part, some in college. I thought that'd be neat. I like playing ideas off people. I like reading people what I've written, and vice versa. Anyhow, I'm trying to do this for a job, so I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do this book club style. I'm trying to get paid for it. That's what I'm about. And if you're not about that, then don't worry about doing business with me. If I get all the partners I want from these industries on the right, renewable power, construction, manufacturing, associations, electronic communications, technology, television, film, production, or association, that's the Texas Moving Pictures Commission Association, a nonprofit organization in local communities. And then there's also local studios we would like to partner with too. There's one in San Marcos where we propose to build this studio, and it already is up and running, and they already have leadership is founded by females. It's a big thing. In general, that's how my family thinks. The world would be a better place if women ran it, and I tend to, that's the one thing. There's a couple things I agree with my family with. That one and a few others, not many. Anyways, we'll continue on. Initial investment, 7.5 million is enough for 20 employees. So it's going to be not the largest production, but a production nonetheless, and expensive. I mean, 7.5 million industry wise is not, it's not crazy, but it's crazy to me. I usually build substations for, I don't know, 4 to 7 million per project, about 4 to 6 months, small crew style, but also hiring a lot of contractors, things like this. So, and I've never been in charge like project manager. I've stepped in as project manager, and yeah, that's never been my title, and it will be kind of this time. I hope to find a partner that, that can provide some guidance on that front as well. The seed round funding, which is the funding. We don't have to get it all right now, but yes, we do if we want to get this tax incentive by the state of Texas, because they want us to have a fully funded project. We can, it says 2.5. We'd have to see what we get, but they'll pay up to 20%, depending on where we're at and how much we spend. Anything over 3 million, we're pretty safe to get 20% back, I would think. We're providing jobs, and we're spending money in the state of Texas. I think 54% of work has to be done in the state of Texas. 30 miles outside of Austin, which we will be. So that's kind of why I'm looking for funding right now, so I can start production as soon as possible, as soon as we get a studio either purchased or built. Yeah, it doesn't take long to build. It takes a while, but not too long. I think we can knock out a metal building very quick. A couple of the companies I used to work for in construction are in the area. Anyhow. Sun, the Moon, the Earth. This is the first drawing. Well, not the first, but one of the first drawings I did. Kind of get me warmed up for writing a little bit, and I just goes along Despicable Me. I think how he's in the bad guy or whatever. He's in his little place making his little workshop or what have you, and all the little minions are around. It's a similar thing, little minions and stuff, but probably came from there. I've only seen the first one, and it was a long time ago, maybe 2003, 4, whenever it came out and was on video. Yeah. So I just thought I'd put this in there because I like art. Okay, so Energized Media, how are we going to get paid? Right now, I haven't had a product. We won't have a product. We finish this movie and get it into theaters. And that's where we get our first revenue source. Is box office sales. Also have apparel and promotional tech sales, t-shirts, any type of, kids meal, little toys, things like that. Eventual broadcast and distribution. This is going to come after the box office. Tickets, we don't want them released at the same time. We definitely don't want straight to video or streaming. We'll also have a hardbound art book that we had thought we'd use for so we could come up and fork over some of the money and then lay down ourselves. We didn't really have, so I didn't make $1 from that. So if we're gauging that as a metric, then you might want to reconsider. But I don't think that's the full story there. And I'll explain that to you on a one-on-one type of conversation. Anyhow, the Energized Media studio focus is to produce the first of 3 feature-length motion pictures in the trilogy. So, why movie versus streaming series? Well, box office sales are going to provide our baseline, so we know, where we're at. First off, okay, we're doing good. This thing did great. Oh, this thing didn't do so well, and that's where the risk comes in. If you'll follow me with this, if you'll follow me along with this, and I like it, and I give you thumbs up that we're liking where we're at as far as production when we're quarter, halfway, three-quarter way through it. I'll tell you if it's gonna be. You'll be able to see it too. You'll know if it's a winner or loser. Anyhow, um, and then that can change as well. I'm not rock solid on any of these things. I'm pretty bendable. I want to form a board. That's kind of the first thing. Assuming we get multiple partners, then I definitely want a board of experienced people or in multiple industries to kind of help our company grow and stay afloat, especially in lean times if they are headed our way. Uh, Board discussions will assist negotiations for how EMT will broadcast, post-theater run, provide a fair metric for potential customers, leasing the title from a new studio. Yeah, so if we're going to convince people to carry our title and give us they're going to need some proof. We have this much in box office sales. It did pretty good. They'll probably be satisfied and we won't have a problem being a new studio. So I think that'll help, assuming we get it distributed properly. But maybe somebody will team up with us on that. Anyways, it'll also guide future contracts I hope the studio continues and tells other people's stories. There's a lot of artists around in San Antonio, Austin, Texas in general. I'd like to tell other people's stories or help them tell it. Also, evaluate and assess value for our shareholders. This will be a good thing to see. Okay, did they invest wisely? Did they hire some talented guys and gals to is it going to be profitable? Should they stay in or should we fold it? Anyways, the board partnership responsibilities. You're gonna have to provide at least one person from your organization to be mentors to some of the newer people in the industry. I've never animated any character based animation. Some like letters and stuff, a lot of type going across the screen, that sort of deal. That's my animation experience, but I'm not scared of it. I've done character illustration, things like this. I'm a graphic designer. It's difficult dealing with motion, but maybe we get a few. Hopefully, we'll be able to hire a couple like seasoned animators to kind of work through with us. I've talked to a local animation studio, and they are open to, they have facilities, they have plenty of room, plenty of animators. So think we can talk to them and hire maybe. Not sure if we can hire their whole team because it's expensive and they're busy as well. So, but they say they have people, so that's an option there. We'll have weekly meetings during production, monthly meetings post-production, on any concerns or decisions affecting company or investors. Yeah. And these are just pictures of myself. They said don't put your picture in the presentation. I I like it. It's like, you know. Here are my terms, and maybe there'll be some more. I haven't had a lawyer yet, and I haven't made any contract. I want to talk with somebody on the phone for a minute that's interested in this thing and interested in what I'm gonna do. Um, there'll be 5 limited or full partnerships sought during the marketing phase of the project, April 5th, 2025 through July 5th, 2025. First partner or partners that commits with the MT will assist with forming the company, oversight and entrance and exit conditions for subsequent partners. Fund has a mandatory 2-year commitment period. This will give us enough time. My schedule for this was 6 months, and that's with everybody in the production making the exact same amount, and that's me, the average wage for a Texas animator. It's not on the high end. It's not on the low end. Um, I'm I'm sure that'll have to change, but that's what I used, and I think we'll be all right to go a bit above that. Maybe we hire 50 people. That'll still be bare bones compared to most animation projects, but it'll get done. And it might run long or whatever, and we might have to make it that's something that the first partner that agrees to what we got going. We can negotiate some sort of happy medium with all parties. They'll help me with that. Get what we do if A happens, what we do if B happens, something like that. I'm open. If you can be open and flexible, that would be appreciated too. Here's as far as research, I I'm not a great researcher, and it's real easy now for ChatGPT. No, I use ChatGPT to do this. I second it with a Google search for everything, and it checked out. So that's I'm not. I didn't work on any of these productions, but it made sense to me because animation is something that the whole family can go to. So it seemed like a pretty good place for art to happen and to make money off art. Um, Top 3 most profitable animated feature films of 2024. Number 1 was Inside Out. Production cost 200 million. Uh, the worldwide box office grossed 1.698 billion. That's a pretty good profit margin, 749%. Um, Anyways, I'll let you go over this. If you're on the Medium account and you're reading this, no need for me to explain it. I will say that if you were doing a yearly fund in your on the stock exchanges, you aren't gonna hit 749% in a year. You know, for whatever stock. I mean, those are pretty good numbers in here. The only loss is the last place. It's called Hit Pig. I've never heard of it, but you know, Hit Pig lost. Every other movie knocked it out of the park. And there it is again. It's just a little easier to read on this. Same thing. That's kind of where I'm at with this story. The sun, the earth, the moon. You can read it on Medium. At least you can read the first 4 chapters. I'm working on the 5th, but like I said, one story is told from a female's kind of narrator, I guess you can. The other from a male narrator. Um, have a lot of I have a lot of emails in this. That's kind of a driver of this project a little bit. It's because I'm I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know where to find this, but I think it is that because women are saying they get paid less for doing the same job as men. And they have a hard time getting into leadership roles. I think that's changing. At least I don't know. Maybe that's what I see because I'm interested in it, and I've kind of made it known on a few sites. I can't believe it. I can't believe that still we're having gender and racial type biases in work situation. I am a white man, a white boy. Sounds a little better, a white boy. Um, but a white man child. How about that? Anyhow, so just to clarify, we'll be owner in this company just because I'm starting it, and I'm gonna put in some hard work and have put in some hard work, and I've been beat the hell out of financially. Just because to do this is I think it requires some attention from me that I'm not able to get if I'm working something else. Um, but I'm no super businessman, but I'm intelligent enough to make this happen. I know it, and I think women management and leadership is a good step in that direction, and they'll help me get it to where I need to go. No, I want to hire female leads for all positions in this company under this first project for the sun, the earth, the moon, and with the intent of having them take over as the executive team for all the executive positions if our oversight or our board can kind of gear all the leads up. We'll be all knowing each other well during the weekly meetings and getting to know each other. And if they approve, that's the intent there. And I'll just, get to animate and do what I like to do. Anyhow, um, or do this. So if we want to make this bigger, if you want to know how we can expand, here's something. I'm having help uh, trying to find somebody to fund this. It's something I've run into. I'm sure everybody runs into. Is everybody I talk to seems to say, well, you need to have a fully funded project before we can talk. Do anything like that, we'll get funded first. And I gotta tell you, I'm not rich at all. But I was a military veteran, and I went in early. I was in during Bill Clinton's administration. Luckily, I didn't see war. I was in the Middle East the entire time. I mean, for two separate deployments. But yeah, I never had to go get bullet shot at me. Anyhow, I'd like to go back overseas because of that, and help people who have stories to tell by building studios or that don't have communication networks to let people know of danger and let people know of fucking, hey, there's a damn fucking party over here in a couple of weeks. You should come. I don't know. If there's places like that, we want to find them that would be good at telling stories and have some stories that we'd like to hear over here as well. Um, anyhow, there's a lot of there's a saying, and this comes from the Bible. This is the only thing I'll bring up Bible wise. As a man cannot live by bread alone, yeah, something like that. So I think there's a lot of good people doing good things, and I hope fun is important too. I think, and communication is kind of what it's about, really. Anyhow, the frequency will build one new studio per year on each of the continents. of the planet. And so that gives us a kind of exit time frame. I'm thinking that I don't want to do this because I like to change up jobs pretty regularly. Um, the last one was a little long for me. I went about 8 years, but it was good. I was working with good people. Um, but anyhow, you get worn out and you want to do something new. Um, the purpose is to support and inspire other film uh, writers, storytellers, and help them tell theirs stories that we like and want to hear and want to see where they can go. Anyhow. Just a little graphic right here. It's the woman trying robot love. Um, it's it's kind of dark, but if you can take that, you can take as dirty as this film will get. And I think kids can take this. I don't know. I don't have kids, but I think I think your kids, whether you like it or not, are seeing stuff every bit as bad as this. And I think cartoons, you're able to tell difficult stories, and and it's easier to digest. I think than maybe it was seeing me, for example, try a robot love or something like that, right? Um, but anyhow, I wrote a bit of a story that deals with some hard things, and I intend to tell it, and I intend to get a PG rating out of it. I intend it for everybody. I think a cartoon is the best way to do that. I think I'm not going to do anything super crazy. This is as dark as it gets. But there will be maybe a booby or something like that. Maybe a pecker. Um, and it'll be, you know, illustrated or animated. There won't be any guns. Never anybody shooting shooting other humans. And I promise that won't change. There's me on some dollars with some beetles walking across them, or me, the Brandon dollar. Well, I wish it could spend. Here's a little animation we did with Moho. Moho. I think it'd be good for so this movie is in space, right? Uh, Not the whole thing. Actually, a fairly small portion of it right now. So far, that'd be good for space movements, something like this for satellites, for ships, for stuff. It's very easy to work with. Uh, yeah. Well, I'm not the best Well, I'm almost animator, but I'll get there. I guarantee you, it'll be good. It'll be a good movie. And if you do go to my Medium account and want to read the story, if you are interested, make sure you go to Open Call, because it's not the sun, the earth, the moon. This presentation will be posted there, and you can contact me on any of those sites with the form. There's like a contact form or something. Leave your email address and I'll respond. Thank you for listening. I hope this didn't go too far. 30 minutes, better than 45.